Welcome to episode 82 of the Bikini Besties podcast. I'm Lo.
Kaylia.
Stephanie.
And this week we have a very special guest, Miss Jamie Sterling here virtually. Welcome.
Hi.
This is so good to have you on. We are really excited to chat with you. So thank you for joining us on the podcast today.
For having me. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah.
Really appreciate it. It's good to see you guys.
Yes, good to see you too.
I know it's always like chaos with the holidays, and so we really appreciate like you getting on the schedule so early in the year and helping us kick off 2026.
Yeah, because the last time we were scheduled, I think Gracie was just like she just got injured. So I appreciate you guys. I'm like,
You're like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah, no problem. I get it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's gonna
Happy
be
New Year to you,
I'm anticipating 2026 to be a good one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Another exciting year.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited for the competing season, just with all the Olympians coming into it at the beginning of the year. I think it's going to be a really competitive season,
Yeah.
so I'm excited.
It's going to be, I think it's going to be a really, really competitive year overall, just at any level.
great. And then we have the new point system too. So I'm curious as a pro promoter how that will shake out as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of being a pro promoter, why don't you give us us and our listeners a quick intro of who you are and how you're involved in this in the industry?
So my name is Jamie Sterling. I'm actually originally from California, born and raised pretty much there. And I started competing there in 2016. It was the first time I took the stage. So I've been competing for almost a decade.
Yeah.
Not into sports whatsoever. That wasn't my background at all. I got into competing actually later on in life. I started competing at 37. I'm 47 now. So that was the first time I stepped on stage. And honestly, it was just kind of like a bucket list thing for me. I had two very big babies. I had an 11-pound baby and an 11.5-pound baby.
Whoa.
Yeah, so it's kind of one of those things I'm like, I need something to motivate me to, to get back to feeling like me. And then also something for me as a mom, because I had my boys back to back. They were 16 months apart. And like, as a new mom, I just felt like I needed something. And so I've told this story a few times, so some of your listeners may have heard it, but I saw this girl in a green bikini and on Facebook. Instagram wasn't a thing then. And it was just like a random, I don't know how I came across it. I'm like, okay, that's it. I'm going to do it. And I signed up with my first coach prior to that. So when I saw her, that was in like 2015, but I signed up with a coach then. And I just kind of got in the rhythm of like accountability, checking in every week and learning how to track macros. I guess I kind of knew nutrition, not that great, but it was kind of like a cardio bunny. Like I would take spin classes. I wasn't weightlifting at all. Spin classes like a thing then. And so I just kind of like dug into it and I really enjoyed the process. I love structure. So it was really good for me, especially as a new mom. I just felt like I had something for me. So I poured everything into it. And so from the time I had my babies, I got to 230 pounds with both of my boys. And my stage weight is about 120. Well, it's varied, but I've lost over 100 pounds on my journey.
Wow.
So it's been quite a journey. And I got on stage in 2016, hired my first prep coach, and I loved it. It was just so much fun. It was like exhilarating. And again, it was kind of like, this is for me. I really cherished that. And my family has been so supportive along the way, 100%. And I feel like that makes a big difference. 2016, and then I went off to my first national show in 2017. I wound up placing third at my first national show, which is crazy because even in like my height group, there's like 20 of us all. It's always like that at Masters Nationals. I'm always classy. There's always over 20 girls. And I had zero anticipation whatsoever, but I thoroughly enjoy the process. I try not to have expectations going into it. I try to really pour like, me versus me and my best self, really every season. But yeah, that's kind of how I got into the sport. And here I am, still a national competitor. It's gotten competitive, which I love.
Yeah.
And I think that's great for the sport. It has grown leaps and bounds since I started competing. So I started competing in Sacramento, and Sandy's been my judge. That's kind of how I developed a relationship with her. And also, as a promoter, why I was so passionate about bringing her into my shows here in Indiana, which she's judged a few times. So that was really important for me too, because she's given back so much to me as a competitor in means of her feedback, and she just truly genuinely cares about the well-being of women in the sport.
I love that. So so how many national shows have you done in the last,
Oh my gosh.
I guess if you don't know the exact, like, have
I'm
you
so bad.
competed
You
like,
don't have to know.
yeah, you don't have to
Let
know.
them bully
Steph doesn't,
you.
yeah.
I didn't
I
know
haven't
either,
taken-
but I was the only
I've
one.
taken one season off. I think I've
Okay,
done.
so you competed like almost every year. Have you kind of?
I took 1 year off when my dad passed away in 2022, and I try not to run myself. I mean, again, I'm a mom
Yeah.
first, right? And so I really try to have like balance with my life in competing. I try not to compete more than 3 shows a season. 2 is like my best, and
Like a
3
sweet
just
spot.
is a lot for me.
Yeah.
So I think in total 10 national shows.
Yeah.
I would say, 10, but I've only taken a season off, and it was important for me to do that. And I'm telling you, I've had like a tremendous amount of ups and downs throughout my 10 years, and a lot of learning along the way. But I wouldn't take it back for anything. Like I feel like I've just honestly this year or this past season finally just kind of hitting my stride after 10 years. I mean, it just takes some people that long, right? And my first national show, I placed third. And then, of course, I'm like every other, I'm like, I'm coming back. I'm going to go get my pro card, right? Well, the following year, I was like dead last. So I just, and that was like just the difference of how I treated my off season. I gained too much weight in the off season. I had to do a lot of cardio getting back to that shape and stage. So, my journey certainly hasn't been perfect, but I've learned a lot along the way, and I still enjoy it. You're like, you're crazy. You're doing this for 10 years now, and still, I love it. I really, I truly do.
Yeah, you love the process of it, Rob. Yeah, and it sounds like since day one, you've had the mindset of like having kind of like no expectations, just like you said, you versus you. Has that always been you since day one of competing, or do you think you've evolved to that?
Always. I think that's just me, who I am by nature. Like, I do know a lot of women will like go online and they'll comb through and look at
Yeah.
I have to be honest, I've never really gone on and looked at NPC News online and pulled up like third place, and I would say I was ninth or whatever, and compared myself to any other competitor ever. This is just my personal journey, and how I just feel like that's kind of kept a healthy mindset for me.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything wrong, honestly, with the opposite way. That just works for me, and maybe it's held me back a little bit because maybe I don't know, like, necessarily, okay, I've got to do it, but I just don't want all that pressure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I just prefer that just works really good for me to not. I feel like comparison is the thief of joy, and I realize that we're in a sport of comparison, but it is a really personal journey for me, and it really is you versus you at the end of the day.
How do you balance, I guess, all throughout the year? Like, is there, I'm assuming that you don't promote shows at the same time that you're competing.
Oh no, I do.
Maybe-
I'm
You do?
in full
Okay,
blown
okay.
prep. Yeah.
Oh, really?
So actually, in fact, Indy this last year, I was in prep. I think that was it was my second season. I was in prep for both times putting on the Indy Pro. I thrive in that environment, and I feel like through my journey, I've had my stages of going into the off season and gaining far too much weight, like 20. My frame, I'm like shy of 5'4", and I feel like the days are kind of over. Of maybe they haven't always been there, but for bikini, I tend to put on weight pretty quickly. So like I'll put on 20 pounds really easy, 25 pounds really easy, and I felt like even with like running the shows, it was just motivation for me to just stay, a little bit tighter, look the part. I wanted to just represent myself really well as a promoter and also as an athlete. And I felt like it just gave me a little bit more drive to do that.
So do you usually like, would you do a show, like planning wise, I guess, would you do a show like a month before or a week before?
Well,
Or
so as a promoter, it's kind of tough for me to pick
yeah.
regional shows, to be honest with you. Like I'm at the point in my journey where I'm just going right back to the national stage
national stage.
this
Yeah.
year. I don't do any warm-ups really because I guess I don't really have that ability or time to do that. I did in 2024. I did a show here in Ohio, and I did that just a few weeks before Indy Pro, and I just felt like my body was just so tired by the time I got to Masters, which was in July, because then I had a show in June, promoted a show late June, and then competed late July, and you could tell my body was just really tired. So I try to strategically time it. So Indy Pro will be June 27th this year. Then I plan on doing Masters Nationals and North Americans. We'll see. I'll just take it as I go.
Yeah, it goes. What's been so in your national runs, like what has been like your feedback, things that you've been working on? I can relate. I've been doing it, well, not nationals for 10 years, but competing for 10 years too. Mine's always the glutes. And so, so what have you been working on? I know.
It's glutes. It's typically my lower body. I almost like, I kind of have like, if I were to train, I haven't trained upper body in like over a year because I'm structure wise just a little bit more dominant in my back and my shoulders. And so it took me a long time to actually learn that. So I'm really upper body dominant and I just struggle growing in my lower half. So typically my feedback from Sandy, Tyler, or Bill or Becky is glutes. My hamstrings come in pretty sharp. I can kind of like hang on to tie-ins, even like 25 pounds above my stage weight's ridiculous, but it's the density in my glutes. And I wasn't an athlete. I didn't, play any sports or anything. And again, I started lifting 10 years ago. I know it sounds like a long time, but if you don't historically have any background in playing sports, and I definitely don't have the genetics, it's a labor of love for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think training wise, I feel like, again, I'm kind of hitting my stride and figuring out what works good for me. I do better, less is more in means of training. So like 4-day splits work great for me. Anything more, my cortisol starts to rise. I get achy. I'm not recovering well. And so I do lower body 3 days a week. And I actually only train my upper body maybe every 2 weeks, just a little pump.
Yeah.
So my days are, a much more less rigid than they used to be in the beginning. Because I remember in the beginning as a newer competitor, and obviously we learn as we go. I mean,
right.
If I missed a day at the gym and I wasn't going 6 days a week and doing an hour of cardio every day, I just felt like, oh my God, I'm like not doing it right. Well, I haven't done any really actual physical cardio since July. This is just my body. It does less is more, and training, and I'm actually seeing more results than I have in the past. So
That's
I think
amazing.
honestly, it just takes time, right? To learn what works good for you, and feedback will be glutes, and they were glutes again this year. And I feel like for bikini, it's like what we always hear, right?
Yeah.
Just a little bit more, unless you're genetically blessed, but.
And I know we kind of all got introduced to you because you've been through Kaylee working with performance posing. How's your experience been with that, or why did you choose to reach out to pose with Kaylee?
Amazing, truly. And I feel like, one, you're going to connect with your posing coach, and I've had a few. I haven't really had like a lot of like direct posing coaches. Like I've worked with teams that have had posing coaches, and for me, I'm an extrovert, but I'm extremely shy when it comes to stage. Like I will literally get on stage and shake, and I knew that if I wanted to place higher going into this next season, I needed to hire someone that I felt like when I watched you pose, Clea, I'm like, your flow is so beautiful, and that's where I just kind of lack. I'm a little bit more, stiff when I pose or, nervous. And I wanted to embrace my confidence and work with somebody that can help bring that out in me and my confidence. And I have to say this last season was the best I'd ever felt on stage working with you, because we really did. We talked about it in advance. I'm like, here's what I really want to work on is my confidence. Let's bring it out, so I know I have it.
Yep.
It's just a matter of tapping into it and finding that person that can help bring that out in you. So that was a huge, that was a win, aside from placing. Another goal was like, I want to crack a top 5. And I just want to feel confident on stage, right? Because for me, it just does not come easy. I see girls and I'm like, oh my gosh, they're really shy backstage. All of a sudden they get out there and I'm like,
where'd that come from?
Yeah, I feel like it's always the girls that are like more introverted in person.
I feel like that's
and then
me.
They get out there and
I'm
they have that
quiet
whole persona, right? I'm like super extroverted out there. I'm like, oh my God. There goes the shaking, So this was working with you really truly did. And it was work, right? Posing is a commitment. And I never really committed to that. I didn't take the time to pose daily, and I really did, because one, I wanted to honor my commitment to you, and most importantly, obviously, to myself too. And just like, I knew that was something that I just lacked, So it felt good. It really did. And I need to get my butt in gear, because July's going to be here before we know it. We get to posing soon.
You've been a busy woman.
I've been busy.
A reset or a break is necessary.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah,
we need it.
Like
we do.
Fresh.
I hit my poses before I get in the shower, like all of us girls,
Yeah. In the bathroom mirror.
Yeah, totally.
Yep.
Hit a few poses, get in the shower, pose a little shy. I feel like that's what we're doing. Our supplement. That's like, I feel like that's my supplemental posing. But I do know that I have to have like at least a good solid 4 months of posing leading into the show for sure. So we'll get rolling soon.
Yeah.
And vacuums. That's another thing. Putting those into my routine was because I had 2 big babies, 11-pound babies. My gosh.
Well, actually, speaking of that, you're the one who, because you work with Karina, or did, or do,
She's
right?
awesome.
Yeah. And I know Steph works with Dove, who Dove like learned from Karina.
She's so good too. Yes.
Yeah. And you're who I kind of found out about LPF coaching. So in you working with me, I then learned about LPF coaching.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah. So and that whole world. And then I now have like, that's just where I didn't even know that was like a coaching service. Yeah. And so I learned about that.
Are you teaching it now?
What?
Are you teaching it now?
Oh, no.
This is your first class.
No, I will not be teaching it. But no, what I was going to say is, as a posing coach, it's really good to know about that, because I have girls, and especially women who have had babies in master's categories, and if struggle with their core, and like if it's out of my realm of expertise, then I can able to refer and refer them to Karina or Dove, and like so it's been cool to learn about that, because
it's
helping me a lot.
It was. I had so many. Just having such big babies. That's been another thing too, is like keeping your core control on stage. What a difference that makes when you're aware. Because if you're not aware, you really, some people it might come easy for them. But I look back at my stage photos, or look at my phone, I'm like, oh my gosh, Jimmy, and plus being nervous at the same time. So coupled with the LPF and the confidence, it really it goes hand in hand. But learning to breathe when you're on stage, it's an art. And then at the same time, right?
Yeah.
But
it's good when you figure it out. Also for your structure, the things that you have to work against, and then kind of making it something that you don't have to think about.
Yes.
Because I know that's been huge for me, at least in terms of confidence.
Yeah, my waist is not. I'm a really petite person, but my waist is not the smallest on stage for sure, and it never really has been. But I think, also with like shape and training and things like that, that's why I was like, well, build the glutes, a little bit more. So my waist looks a little bit smaller each time my glutes grow a little bit more. But the LPF helps a ton. It
was
really
it your
does.
first
And
year?
even throughout like when I'm going to the grocery store, I'm conscious of it more than I had ever thought. you're keeping your core tight, and it's just good for posture and everything. But yeah, she's amazing to work with. She really is.
Yeah, I've heard really good things. Yeah, I've done Karina's her, which I think you do too. Her check-ins. Yeah, her video check-ins.
Yeah.
I've done those during my prep season. And then I know a lot of people work with Dove too and love her. So I hear great things about the
lives
two.
are really nice too, because she'll walk you through the breath
Yeah,
work.
I haven't done that yet. That's what we're gonna go to the FBF summit this weekend, and I'm gonna do it in person. I'm gonna tag along with Steph, so yeah, I'm excited to.
And it honestly kind of like grounds you in the morning too. Like I'm so stoked about this. I just put together this full-on recovery room down in the basement, so I've got a sauna.
Oh.
I have a red light sauna and my vibration plate. I know it's a little cokey, but I swear by it. For like the lymphatic drainage. I feel so much better, but I need it. Like, I'm a busy mom. I have all these shows going on, and then I just need something for me. And so I've got like my heels down there, my posing suit, mirrors, my
I
sauna.
love that idea.
Oh, that's a genius idea. It's like your own little meditation time.
I'm living the dream down there. It's so nice.
You have
and I got my red light mask. I'm like, don't catch me with the red light mask on with my vibration plate.
That's funny.
I love that.
And stretching and posing. So I actually committed to, and I have been doing a little bit more. So it's like, I take it out in baby chunks, like, especially getting into the new year. I'm like, all right, I'm getting back into my recovery. Now I'm going to do more stretching and then LPF and into the posing. Because if we tackle everything at once, it feels overwhelming,
Oh, yeah.
So just little bites at a time.
Yeah. Yeah, little bits to show you that you can do it, and then it builds the confidence that, we can add one more thing. And
it adds up. It really does, right? It adds up as far as, your recovery is super important, obviously, and posing and keeping your core tight. I mean, it all matters. Red light for aging and recovery and feeling better. But it's like it definitely all adds up.
Yeah, and that's like the longer that you compete and the longer you're in the sport. We always joke about Steph being our specialist queen over here, because you just learn all these different things that you need to add to your routine, to your life, to your schedule.
Well, that's why I said I get up at 4 a.m. I'm like, I am not getting any of this stuff done unless I get ahead of the game, because I got to get my kids ready for school. I got to take the dogs out,
Yeah.
And then, so that's kind of like my time. I got to carve out my time, and it's worth it. I can take a 20-minute nap in the middle of the day.
Yeah. You have some me time. I love that exercising in the morning. Even if I do like 15 minutes walking on the walking pad, it just starts your morning off kind of clear head and everything like that.
Yes. I know I said I hadn't done cardio since July. People are like, what? I'm busy. Like, I have 2 golden retrievers, and like my cardio is sweeping up their hair every day. You know how it is.
Oh yeah, yes, I do. I understand.
It's out of control, and I'm such a busy person. Like, I'm very active, but I do know that I need a little bit more. So that was another thing. I'm like, okay, I have my stairs in there too. I have some stairs at home, and so just adding that in, maybe just 10 minutes a few times a week. I need it for heart health.
Oh yeah, it's the heart rate up.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, thanks for sharing a little bit about your journey as an athlete yourself. We would love to hear more and to share kind of with everybody listening a little bit more about promoting, being a show promoter, what shows you promote, and how you got into that as well.
Yeah, I want to hear how you got into that.
Oh my gosh.
What'd you do before promoting?
If you would have asked me like 6 years ago, because I've been promoting for going on this our 5th year, that I would be promoting, I'm like, no way. So, long story short, 2017, I competed at nationals. I met Gary there, and he is the chair of the Mid-Atlantic. And I think I shared, I went from 2017 to 2018. I went from 3rd and totally bombed, right? So 2019, between 2018 and 2019, our family basically uprooted from California. My husband got transferred here, and I was so excited because I'm like, I get to pick some new shows, right? And Gary kind of became a mentor to me, and I wanted to go to the Pittsburgh Pro. because why not, right? Like the nostalgic Pittsburgh Pro. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get into Indy and I'm going to do, my show season 2019. And I had asked for some advice, and I would just check in with him periodically, and we became really good friends. He's amazing at what he does. When you meet him in person, he's not very talkative, but when you get to know him, he is so genuinely caring and compassionate, and he just gives back to so many athletes in the sport. And so I took his advice to heart. He's like, your suit sucked in 2018. Your posing sucked. Go back to the green suit. Because, by the way, because I saw the girl in the green bikini, I had to wear the green bikini in 2017. Go back to the green. It was a great look for you, and, we just kind of became really good friends. So, long story short, there was an opportunity to put on a show here in Indiana, and I moved here. And my husband is a brand. I always screw up his role. He's like, damn it, Jane. He's a marketing director for a pet pharmaceutical company here in Indy, and he's like a brand strategist. And I have 12 years of sales before having my boys. And Gary was like, you know what? I think we would make a really great team. Let's put on a show. And that's how it started. So we put on our first show, which was the Premier Muscle, and this is going on our 5th year. And there was a big promoter here who ran the Indy Pro. Some of you guys might remember him, Dave Bowers. I don't know if you do or you don't, but he actually ran the Indy Pro for quite a few years, and then another show, the Indiana State. Well, in 2022 was our first show. 2021, he retired. And he gave us the Indiana State. So we paired the Indiana State with Premier Muscle our 2nd year. And we let the Indy Pro I wanted to rebrand it a little bit. He had men's bodybuilding, which I wasn't really necessarily big on bringing that in. One, it's really, really expensive. And two, as a female promoter, and I have to bring a bikini.
Yeah.
And so, and classic, obviously at the time was really like taking off. I'm like, let's do this. Let's rebrand it. Let's let it kind of just sit for a year. We wanted to get the Premier Muscle up and running for 2. And then Indy Pro was our 2 years. We're going on our 3rd year this year. And so we rebranded everything. We brought in different divisions, and it's been amazing. Truly. It's one of those things that you don't realize what you're getting into until you get into it. Because you kind of think, when you go to the show, you're like, oh, everything's here, right? The banner's here, the stage is here, the lighting is here, all the backstage pump. There is so much work that goes on into putting on an event, a bodybuilding event. It's a full year of work for one show, of just planning and making sure you're getting your medals on time and graphics. And we're very, very big on a top tier production. Lola's been at our show.
Yeah, check the way that I'm wearing.
Oh, she wore it.
My eyesight's so bad. Are you wearing the Indy Pro?
Oh, yeah, she is.
I'm wearing the Indy Pro tee because
not a great shirt.
I did the Indy Pro this last year, and I will say, because I did a lot of shows, and this last year, that was one of the best experiences, especially in the backstage. Being a pro at the shows, it's always nice to have something where you feel special or like a pro, and you had an entire pro room upstairs that felt like VIP. The snack tables were next level. The venue was just gorgeous, and I would say the photos turned out better than anywhere else because of the backdrop being black and gorgeous branding. And then even backstage afterwards, having that photo set up in the back and having photography backstage, it was just a full experience from when you get there and getting ready all the way through until you're off stage and taking pictures with your team and awards and everything. It was
That's one of those things that will never waver. And my husband and I, he's a brand strategist. I'm in sales. We are constantly talking about how we can continue to elevate these events. And as a competitor, for me, it's I've gone to a lot of shows, and I've gone there and I've been like, that's it.
Yeah.
We've spent hours and hours of sacrificing months and months and months leading into this event. And my thought as a competitor too is not everybody wins, right? And so how can I create an experience for the athlete when they come to my event and make them feel welcomed and appreciated, no matter the win, no matter if you're a true novice to a pro. But even with the pros, you've earned that badge, right? You spent a lot more time than me and a lot of the amateurs on that stage and getting to where you are. So it was something that I was really passionate about, is how can we make you truly feel like a professional in this sport? And so I'm glad that I was able to do that for you, but I'm not done. Still a lot more coming.
Oh yeah.
I'm always thinking about what more can I do. And I will tell you, that comes with, there's not a lot of like return because I invest so much, but that's important to me. I would rather invest more into the athlete, invest more even into like you said, like the snack table. I mean, what's another $1,000, right? To put out some treats and stuff for the athletes and make you guys.
So many snacks, you guys. There was like
Just
what?
wait.
There was like candy. There was Pop Tarts. There was Rice Krispies. It was next level.
Yeah, I listen. I know what I want, and you do need rice cakes, peanut butter, and honey, and sometimes you run out, right?
Yeah, there was little packets and stuff. It was really good.
Oh yeah, I do rice cakes. I do peanut butter, honey, salt. I cover all the bases because as a competitor, I think it does help being still an active competitor. I know there's a lot of promoters that are, competitors and pros that have retired and stuff, but I'm still on the scene. But I'm also just by nature a very thoughtful person. That's just who I am, and you can't necessarily create that. It's just who I am to the core. So I really do want to put a lot of thought and time and energy, and I do. I mean, literally, I was up this morning at 4 a.m. like designing lanyards for the athletes and stuff, because it's like the little things, right, add up. And again, like not everybody gets an Olympia qualification. Not everybody gets first place. Some people don't place. Some people get last place. But how can I make this fun? Like
I was gonna say,
have fun doing this. We really do.
Yeah, I had several clients, amateur clients, who did your show, and that was like the number one thing I kept hearing was how much fun they had at your shows. Like just that was like whenever I talked to them, like placing or not, they were just like, it was the best time. That's all I've ever heard from your shows.
We gotta have a vibe. I mean, my husband and I are a vibe too. Like, he's back there taking photos. He's an artist through and through. The man's like wildly talented at anything he touches. He's great at. So we decided to do these things, like we'll call it the winner's circle, and even for the coaches that are coming in too, like, what a great opportunity to give back to the coaches, because without the coaches, I don't have a show. Without the athletes, I don't have a show, right? So we decided to, pop up that banner backstage and do complimentary photos for teams that were interested in them, like Fit Body, and we got like probably a good 30 edited photos for Jamie and the team. With the girls that, your team and everybody that won, and in between, everybody in between. But that just adds another element of excitement to it. It's like, you get to experience the show. We worked so hard, and there's been plenty of shows that I've gone to where there's not a lot of enjoyment, win or lose. There wasn't a lot of enjoyment to it. So I kind of think about it as like, have you ever heard of the Savannah Bananas, right? Have you? No.
Savannah Bananas?
Okay.
No.
There was this guy who took a spin off of this baseball team, right?
Okay.
It's baseball, but it's fun. It's like this whole different experience, right? So when you walk into our event, we want this to be like an experience. We do programs at the Indy Pro. We have something like the guests even get to get involved, right? And maps of the venue. It's just, I'm always thinking about how I can create
Disneyland for bodybuilding.
Pretty much.
Because our family members are sitting there all day too, and they're sitting there like, oh my God, they literally get to see you on stage for 1 minute.
Yeah.
We better have pumping music. We better be throwing out t-shirts, have really great venue. a really great experience for them also, you know. And so I think there's so many moving parts and a lot of components, but at the end of the day, I really take a lot of pride in that. So I'm really glad to hear the feedback. It means a lot to me.
I think it's cool how you put yourself into like the position of each person that kind of attends the show, and then kind of identifying different friction points for, you know, each person, like as a guest or as a coach or as an athlete, and then kind of considering what they would be interested in or what might make their experience elevated. I think that's awesome.
It's so important. You know, it really is. This sport is a labor of love, right? I mean, there's so many sacrifices that we make, whether it be missing a birthday or family time or holidays or all of the things in between, right? And so for me, I think it's kind of a no-brainer to constantly, and my goal really is, as I want to continue to make this sport bigger and better, you know, and if I have a way to do that as a promoter, that's really important to me. And I take really great pride in that as a promoter for our organization. Is I want them to look good through my events also. That's important.
Is promoting the show, is there like seasons, like prep, you have an off season for promoting and you've got prep for promoting, or is it just literally 24/7 all year round? As soon as the show is done, you're on to planning the next year.
So for some, you know, and I do know some do a little, like, you'll see once we flip our season, I'm like full speed ahead. So I maybe take like 2 days off and I'm already announcing the next show. So because I want, and think about this, and the competitors, in the competitors' eyes, or even for you and I, we're always planning on what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
So I'm planning months and months and months in advance where I'm going to go. I know where I'm going to go for my season. So it would do me a disservice if I didn't. And so I just think that, you know, like I'm constantly trying to, you know, plan and think ahead, and also let people know, here's our date, here's where we're going to be, here's the prizes, here's what we have going on, you know, like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of posting. It's constant social media engagement and reposting athletes. But I think that's what we've built a brand and built a name for, that we are. I truly promote year round. There's Pearl again.
I saw the little tail. Yep. Little puppy tail.
So yeah, we don't take the foot off the gas. To answer the question, I don't. I really don't.
I was going to ask, you know how as competitors we get feedback from judges. Is there a way that people give you feedback on shows and things like that?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
No, not really? Or do people come up to you? Do they DM you? Like, how do you hear about it? Or do you reach out to people to kind of see how things go? Do people just openly complain? Or what do they do?
You know, here's the nice thing with Gary is a obviously he's been in the organization and industry for many, many years. But what I love about him, and where I think our partnership works really well too, is he really trusts our vision and what we're doing. Because like I said, we're constantly strategizing, and you know, there's never been a time where he's like, man, Jamie, you need to, like, we're hitting home runs. I mean, we really are. And I think, you know, obviously there's things that we can always improve in anything, but I think for our events, I've never really gotten any negative feedback
or even positive feedback. Because I usually tag the promoter like in my like show review or show recap. I don't even know if they read those. I don't know if you guys do that. I usually tag promoters too.
Oh, yeah, you do?
I tag the promoter.
Yeah. I mean, it's important to me. And you know, I am constantly always looking out for things, but we really do. We get a lot of praise for what we do. And like I said, like you know, you walk into my shop, I'm giving everybody hugs, and I could do really cool custom t-shirts and stuff like Lola's wearing there with the Indy Pro.
Yeah.
Like when I'm thinking about shirts, I'm thinking about like, what do I want to wear? What could I wear?
Yeah.
Cute. That's, you know, we can wear it to the gym. So we don't use the badge. We like to rebrand it. My husband designed something that's like, looks good, you know, and wearable and things like that too. So yeah, I mean, we get a lot of really positive feedback for things that we're doing. And as far as the organization is concerned, I haven't heard anything negative. Yeah, so that's good. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, you're probably just like knowing you and stuff. I bet you're really good at just like self-assessing, like looking at how that that look reflecting back and like if there is anything. I'm just imagining like knowing you and talking to you that you probably do this like where you like after a show's done, you guys reflect and analyze. Okay, here's where we actually want to do this better and do this better. Where and you're so
it usually comes down to production. Typically, it's like lighting. That's really important too. It's like how can we make sure the lighting is like good, really good. And when we decided to do the black backdrop, that was like something we're never going to waver from. And so we always kind of like we kind of gather our own personal feedback, look back at the live stream, look back at photos and things like that too. But we learn as we go, and I do not like a busy backdrop whatsoever. Like I just think that the athletes and the physique look so good when it's clean in the in the background. I was concerned a little bit actually with Bikini because I wasn't quite sure if they liked the black backdrop, but I feel like Lola, did you feel like it looked?
Everyone likes it.
Yes,
everyone wants a black backdrop.
I felt like the pictures turned out
and
incredible.
We do it in a way where my husband designs it so it's gradient. So like even as an audience perspective, I'm like, I don't want to sit and look at a backdrop all day, right? But the way that we design it is when you're looking at it from the stage photos perspective where they're reels, it looks like it's all black, but it's not because we have design on the outside and it looks pretty. And one thing that we've added to all 3 events this year is LED panels, which I don't like the distraction in the back on the backdrop, but I do like them on the sides to highlight our sponsors and run advertisement. So it doesn't interfere with the athlete's physique, but we can still really promote and highlight the sponsors that without them we don't have a show.
That's so innovative. That's really good.
Yeah, and I can tell there's a lot of like thoughtfulness put into it. Like even with the like placement of where you have like the name of the show. I know like even on the banners you have it above people's heads, not in the middle, so they're all standing in front of the name. You put them above our heads so it's in the picture and we can see what show we're at, and I love that.
Isn't that cool? Yeah, well, I'm telling you, it's like planning a wedding times 10. It really is. And my husband has a full-time job. He's extremely busy in the corporate world. And so I basically tee everything up through the week. So I'm always thinking about like strategizing on what we need to do because he designs a good majority of like the flyers and the content. We both collaborate on like the banner design, but even coming down to like the step and repeats where you're taking those pictures backstage, I want them to look fresh. Like I want them to look so good that you're going to look back at that photo and go, man, that looks really good. I want the physique to pop. And my husband generously, cleans them all up too. So everybody looks really good. It's like a long day for everybody, but all of those little things it's just important to me. Like I think that, we're all in 110%. It has to be a really good production, or I wouldn't be satisfied with it. But we've evolved, since when we first started. So I look back at our backdrop, I'm like, oh my God, what were we thinking? Right? And with the carb up station, that was one of those things too. I'm like, I'm always on the hunt for something sweet after the show, right? And I know a lot of people will do cupcakes and things like that, but I'm like, why not do things where we need it before you go on stage, like a Reese's? Sometimes we need fats, or salt or things like that. So it's I think all of the little details definitely add up for sure. But it means of production and media, it's so important because those are moments captured that you guys get to take home with you that you worked so hard for, right? And there's nothing worse than you're like, man, that was my best physique ever. And these photos don't represent that, right? Because of X, Y, and Z. So we want to try to make sure that we're doing all the things that you guys are happy with.
What would be, for someone who has never, I guess, promoted a show, what do you think would be the most surprising thing that people wouldn't know or wouldn't think of?
Gosh.
Those hard ones. I keep coming up with all these hard ones. I'm sorry. It's actually what I want to know, though.
Well, no, it's like I think that most people probably think there's like, and I did there's maybe like a 6-week window leading into this event that you're like, okay, I'm gonna, get everything put together and bring the banner down, and I'm gonna bring up. It's not. There's so many details involved. Planning a show that I think most people would maybe assume that it's not a full-time job, but when you take on one show, it's extremely busy, and I would say maybe it wasn't as busy, but two, and especially running a pro show.
Yeah.
Everything matters. Yeah, because you want a good reputation for yourself, and so obviously there's always room for error, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot more work than I think people maybe anticipate, because again, like I said, when I walked backstage before I had promoted, I would never guess that anything like that took this much time. So it's a lot, but I love it.
What advice would you give to a competitor like planning their season and picking shows? And let's start there, because then I have a follow-up question.
Go to their social media page to start.
Okay.
I think that it's really important to know who the promoter is. What's their shine look like? What does their feel look like? What are their awards? What are they doing for the athlete? So like we pay for nationals for all of our events, for the athletes, for the overall winners, because we know a lot of people that are coming to our show. We have Olympia level judges, and even at our amateur events we do. And what are the prizes? So go to the page, and really take a look and see if that mirrors kind of what your vision is for your day, right? And do you want to have all the bells and whistles, or and I think maybe sometimes even people might think like, oh my gosh, it's a big show, it's intimidating. No way. I would want to go to a show that goes all out and really takes care of the competitor. So I'd say start there. Go to the social media page, and maybe even look at NPC News Online. Take a look at their stage photography, their photos, things like that, and maybe even ask around. What the experience is like, because it really is. It's so key.
Yeah, that's something like I'm still an amateur competitor, and I same as you, I'm mostly just going to be on national stages at this point. But if I compete this year, it'll be my last year before I go into like a baby life season. And there is a list of like your show. There's a list of some regional shows that I have that I would like to do because of the experience, and like the media that comes with it, the experience, who the promoters are, like and so I agree. Go look at the social media, like look at the vibe, because I have my list over the years now that I've like, okay, as I'm like, I want like this next year, I want an experience. And
I think when you're new too, you really don't know, right? When I first picked them, I'm like, July sounds great. I mean, timing too. So I think it's important too. Like, does it fit in your timeline? Are your kids out of school, or do you like to vacation in the summer?
Can you travel there?
Event a little bit better, but I think that really is important to kind of just see. I mean, even as much as what does their backdrop look like lighting, who's their media team, kind of dig in and ask some of those questions, because it adds up for sure.
Yeah, and I think a lot of amateur competitors who haven't been to very many shows don't consider traveling because they just don't know that maybe that they could have such a better experience just going a little further for a better show, and they don't realize how much work you put into organizing host hotels. Because I know that was a huge thing, because like even check-ins were at the host hotel, and the tanning was there, and how convenient that was, and I know that's a lot of coordination as well from you.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Whole other thing.
So Lola actually had the she got to experience the Palladium. We're actually moving all 3 events, and we're bringing them to where I host my amateur event, and I'm hosting the new event. We're bringing the Indy Pro there for a multitude of reasons. Cool. We'll still have the Pro Lounge, I promise. I might even throw in a red carpet this time. Why not? We'll see.
So fun.
I think I'm going to do that, but for the pros. But yeah, there's a lot of moving parts involved, like getting all the hotels, and this one in particular actually has a host hotel attached. So
Oh, awesome.
yeah, and the backstage was great at this previous venue. I felt like I was really capped out as far as bringing in vendors, and so that's another thing I have to consider as a promoter too, right? So a lot of our vendors and sponsors help supplement the cost of these events, right? Especially a pro show. And so now I'm at more of an expo style. The vendors are inside. This venue is amazing. I've been there for 5 years. The vibe is really, really good. And we're bringing in full media, lighting, LEDs, the whole 9 yards. But the backstage is big, and the hotel's attached. And then another hotel right down the road has full kitchens. And I'm like, it's kind of a no-brainer. But the feedback that actually we've gotten from both venues where I was at the Palladium, beautiful. You can't replace it because a 52-foot wide stage is really great. But we're bodybuilders. We'll figure it out. This stage is really gorgeous too. And the feedback actually that I got from the athletes that went from the Indy Pro as an amateur to the other, they're like, why didn't you bring this show here? It's just a little bit more comfortable. The backstage it was getting really tight, and I couldn't grow. And so my goal, calling the Indy Pro Super Show, is I want to bring in more divisions. I have Classic Physique and Bikini now, Masters Bikini, Masters Classic. And in order for me to grow, I wasn't able to do that at that venue. We were kind of at max capacity. So yeah, but there's a lot of moving parts, and getting the hotels involved and the contracts for all of the venue and the media and the whole 9 yards. It's a lot of planning.
What is your what kind of advice? So if someone attends your show, a competitor, what's your advice for show day? So for attending one of your shows.
Let's see. As a competitor, I would just say we really like to keep our athletes informed. So stay in touch with our social media page, because as we lean into the shows, we're announcing like what's our registration time, what do you need. As a new competitor, they don't know like, oh, I need to get an NPC card, right? Like we can have those provided there. So I like to provide a checklist for them. I'll usually go on and do some sort of lives also, just to kind of get everybody reminded, because like with the host hotels, you guys have experienced this before, they only allow up to 3 weeks before the event, and then that's the cutoff for your group rate. Well, if you missed a group rate, you might wind up paying another extra $100 a night. So I think really just staying in touch with the promoter, going on the website, just making sure you kind of have all the information and means of where's the host hotel, what time is tanning, who's your makeup artist, do I need to book in advance, all of those things. Be prepared, just try to be like overly prepared, because it's overwhelming. There's a lot of things to do, right? Tanning too, like especially tanning, like how can you be prepared for that? That's, as a new competitor, it's such a different experience. So, but we really try to arm everybody with as many details as possible, especially the true novice competitors, for sure. With the pros, they know. They know what to do, but with like the true novice, we do try to provide as many details as possible. And like I said, we're posting at least, even in the off season. I mean, like right now I'm posting at least 3 posts a week. I'm going to be launching some new awards this year, and we're rebranding everything a little bit. So the Indy Pro you're going to see is kind of going to be like an Indy 500 theme. I'm so stoked.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, cool.
I'm really excited. I don't want to give up too much info, but it's going to be so fun. Like we're getting the audience involved. It's going to be a really, really fun event. And so I can't remember, I lost my train of thought on that. But yeah, being prepared, make sure the athletes are prepared. But yeah, we've got a lot of things in store for our shows this year. And having them all at one venue is a little bit more simplistic for me, because I know this team really, really well, and they've been working with me going on for 5 years. And like I said, everything's inside. So Expo's inside. Obviously, our audience there. The backstage is much more simplistic to get to, so coaches can run backstage a little bit easier than the previous venue. It was hard. It was a hard decision to make, but I think at the end of the day, You guys are going to be happy with it. I'm really excited to share some fun stuff. Oh, the awards. We're coming up with new awards. So we're actually going to add a most muscular and best poser for NPC. And then we're adding a best poser for the pros also this year. And then matching the prize money as well for the women to the men for the pros
Very
also. That was
cool.
another big thing for me that
I love that.
very passionate about.
That was my next question. I was going to ask about what awards you do, because I haven't done a show of yours yet.
So for on the NPC side or pro side?
Both.
Both. So for NPC, all of our events, we award national entry, and it's actually to any national event of your choice. I know some promoters like to do, like you can go to, but I like to give you guys the option, with the exception of our show that we're putting on in November. We do Wolfpack bags for all of our overall winners. We do champion belts as well. We do statues for. I do a novice overall also because I like to honor the newer competitors as well, and then I do first place awards for the masters. So we do a good handful of really nice awards, and then for Indiana State we do rings. I do for the women. For all my overall women, I do sashes. I do crowns. We do a lot. There's my award team. They love me and they hate me. They're like, Jamie, stop. That is a team, let me tell you. People don't realize, they think it's really a fun job to get up and present awards. It is the hardest job. It is ruthless because you're on stage, you're in heels, and it's when you have like as many awards as we have, it's a lot to orchestrate and put together. So yeah, we really take care of the athletes. I pride myself on that too. And then like I said, some people don't win. And so that's why I'm very big on all of our events are going to have a themed pump up station backstage this year. Again, I don't want to give away too much, but I'm so excited.
You're getting so excited.
I know, you're so excited.
I think you're giving away to get people excited though.
Well, so I'm going to announce it tomorrow, but our most muscular for the Indy Pro is going to be called the Big Piston. And so I'm gonna basically like theme them towards like the most, and then the best poser for the female is the Fast Lane Award, and we're gonna create custom awards for those.
So cool.
It's gonna be really fun, and the audience is gonna get involved. I'll leave it there. It's gonna be a ton of fun.
Cool. That's so cool.
But making it themed is also kind of commemorating that year too, because then you remember exactly what year you wanted it, and that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. Well, and then also having them at the same venue, I kind of wanted them to be identified differently. So when you walk in, and a lot of our competitors, we've got people that have competed in our shows 5 years straight. They come back, they're like, we love your show. And they come back year after year. So they will have like a little bit of a different theme for every show. So our show in August is it's the Indiana State show. So we'll have a lot of different Indiana State themes. There's a saying that we're gonna have for our most muscular. And then for the third show, it's a holiday event. And I'm like, think of like Axe and Sledge and Cabela's had a baby. So it's gonna be like this antler, very like rustic, holiday theme, maybe some camo tees, stuff like that. So
that's so fun.
Yeah, it is like planning a wedding. See? So it's
it is.
I've got all these
I'm
different
planning
ideas.
one. Will you plan mine?
Yeah, sure. I mean, like, we actually just did it. We just did our first wedding photography. My husband just did he was a wedding photographer for one of my best friends. I was the officiant. She asked me to be, and I'm like, sure, why not? We can do anything. Why not? Throw us in there.
Just add it to my resume.
Yeah. So yeah, we're excited about this year. We've got I anticipate this is going to be our biggest year for sure, because I think that it takes a long time to build a reputation, I think, in anything that you do, right? And we've had to prove ourselves and who we are as promoters and in the industry. But I think that we've gained a good reputation that I'm really proud of. And so people talk, right? Athletes talk like, was that a great show? No. Was it a good show? Yeah. I mean, absolutely. They take care of the athletes. And, I do anticipate this to be a really big year, especially with the points. I'm curious to see how that's going to go. We have 70 pros. This is a funny story. I keep track of all the NPC athletes on my phone. Well, Gary didn't give me access to, for some reason, to the pros. And I'm like, I don't even know how many pros we're going to have, right? Well, the list came out and there was 70 of you. I'm like, oh my God. I had to run out and get t-shirts. I'm like, I had no idea. So year 2, we went from, and I think our reputation spoke for itself. Year 1, we went from like, I think 40 pros to 70 for year 2, for 2 divisions.
Wow.
Pretty good.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And our NPC numbers are continuing to climb too. You know, it's good to have competition, in my opinion. Like, I think the well-attended NPC shows, when you've got Olympia level judges, like Becky, Sandy, Bill, they're at our amateur events as well. You're not going to get better feedback than that, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're a true novice competitor or you're a seasoned competitor and you're going off to the national stage, that's another thing that is really important to me as a promoter, is like, get good judges at the table.
Yeah.
They're all good, but get the judges at the table that can take you to the next level. And they care so much about the sport. They truly do. I'm very lucky to have them in my corner. But yeah, Sandy was actually at our show, Premier Muscle, and it was, the turnout when we announced those judges was really, it was a big turnaround as far as our NPC numbers were concerned.
Yeah, it's super important. It's important, and you don't know that yet when you're new, when you're a true novice or novice. But especially like, you know, at the national level, you are picking shows a lot of the times, based on the judging panel, in order to prepare, you know, for nationals.
Well, especially your coach too. Like, even with like Jamie, right? Like, they're always looking for shows that have those judges that can get their girls in front of, and get that feedback so they can go off to the national level, refine your physique, take that feedback. And I promote that. You know, that's something that's really big for me too. It's like, I want these athletes to know, whether you're a true novice competitor or you're a seasoned competitor, this is the best you can get, right? To continue to evolve in the sport is to get that feedback. So that is something that we're really, you know, proud of and passionate about, for sure. It's important to me. I'm telling you, without Sandy, you know, that's where I started. And she's like, Jamie, 10 years, that was just like yesterday. I'm like, it feels like forever. She's helped me so much. I mean, she takes so much time. She'll send your photos side by side. You know what I mean? She really does. And these judges, they have such a long day, and they stay after. Actually, what they've been doing with our events, which is amazing, is they go backstage and they give you your feedback on the spot.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna ask you, how does your show do feedback?
So we do feedback backstage. Becky or Sandy or Bill, they'll trade, and they'll go back there and give everybody feedback. It's difficult, you know. Sometimes people are turning around, and like, Indy Pro is a week before Universe, so we have a lot of people that are going and want to, you know, compete, get the feedback, and go to Universe. Well, you're not going to get that email. That's just too short of a timeline, you know, to turn around and get your feedback. So I think that system has worked really, really well, and they're even implementing it at the national level too. You'll see them back there. I think I saw Sandy. Oh my God, poor thing. She was back there at Masters Nationals. Is she doing it at the national shows?
Yeah, this was the first year I experienced it. Afterwards, after our division was over, I went back there and like, get feedback backs here, and so we all lined up, and it was so much faster. It was so much better, a little bit more intimate setting. Like, you have your coach with you if your coach is there with you, like, you know. So yeah, I really liked it like that. This was the first year I experienced it.
Yeah, we've been doing that maybe like 3 years now. When Sandy and Becky came in to judge the first year, I saw them back there. I was like, this is perfect. Because what better opportunity when you're kind of backstage and you're, you know, there's a lot of time in between, right? You know, step in line, get your feedback, and then you know exactly what you need to do, versus waiting around. It's like, oh gosh, you know, it's a lot. It can make you a little anxious too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we do, and we promote that. You know, it's something that we really do promote, is that we get some of the best judges of the league to get your feedback and take it to the next level. So, but beyond prizes, you know, everything. I feel like that all of that stuff adds up. It truly does. It means of an experience. And if you're a serious competitor and you want to continue on in the sport, it is an important factor for sure.
Yeah, I think your shows sound perfect for either competitor. The ones that do bodybuilding because it's just something, to keep them the fit, healthy, a hobby, competitive, and they do it for the experience and for fun and to fit it into their life. And then there's, the ones that really do it like seriously, competitively, or trying to climb the ladder. And so your show sounds like it really offers like best of both worlds. You're going to get the experience, whatever your goal is with that show, you're going to get the experience, but then you're also going to get the valuable feedback that you need to like level up.
Something for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a big deal for sure. And I think that as a new competitor too, it can be so intimidating, right? It's like you're nervous, you never, there's a lot of people that have like never been in, they've only been training in a gym for a year. They've put it on their bucket list, or they've lost 100 pounds, or they're just starting at 50, whatever the case may be. We want to make sure everybody feels, truly welcome and included in our events. And I'm a big hugger. Everybody walks in, I'm like hugging everybody at registration. It's like, I'm so excited the day's here too. I really am. It's just important to me, like I said, we got to have fun with this. We really do. And it truly does have to be an experience top to bottom for everybody. And I'm telling you, that's the family, like I said, your husbands, boyfriends, mom, dads, they sacrifice with us.
Yeah.
So, we've got a bar at night, have a drink.
You really are thinking of everyone.
Snacks and drinks, you'll get everyone.
Yeah.
Snacks, I've got drinks. We did a program this year, like I said, for the Indy Pro, but we're probably going to do them for all of the events too, because it'll have like a list of restaurants that are in the area, maybe some discounts for restaurants and things like that.
Oh, I love that.
I love that idea.
Because I hate going to a town, like especially when you're traveling into a new town, and you're like, where do I go to eat? Like, I wish that whenever you registered for a show, it was like, it's a genius idea.
Because I hate that too. Whenever I actually have a rule with my husband when I get off stage, he has to pick because I hate that. When he took it to me, he's like, where do you want to go as the competitor? And I'm like, I don't want to make another decision.
Yeah. Well, this new venue too, or my venue that I've had, but the one that we're moving, the Indy Pro, and adding the new event to, has a restaurant on site there. And I'm like, the food is so good too.
That's even better.
And you can go right downstairs and pick it up if you need to. But it's in a cute little town. And I actually do get the city. In fact, I have a meeting on Thursday. I get the city involved in everything. We had the mayor come out and welcome the Indy Pro year one. It's important, when you're talking about bringing in 3 events, and especially on the professional level, we have people traveling in from all around the world, right? We have people coming in from Brazil, Germany, from all over. That's a big deal for some of these small towns here in Indiana. We know we're bringing them revenue, and they are so appreciative of it. But I also like to make relationships with them too, so they kind of understand our sport, because it's different, right?
Oh yeah.
There's a bunch of tan people walking around town,
Yeah.
What's going on here, in some of these small towns in Indiana. And but they are so receptive. They've been really receptive. But that was something that I started doing, is working with the cities and local shops and things like that, whether it be coffee shops, or just preparing them, so they're staffed and they know that we're going to have an influx of people coming in. I think it's important for their business too.
Yeah, you really do think of everything. That's really good. Like, just kind of educating the community of like, hey, here's who we are, here's what we do, and
a way to include them too. Because like a little restaurant thing, or things to do maybe between prejudging and finals. Because I know my family sometimes gets bored too. It's a long day.
Yeah. Well, I want to bring in kind of like thinking about it would be so cool to have like a permanent jewelry booth. I mean, why not? Your guests are there, they can do something fun. But even those little shops that are in town, getting them involved, and maybe they want to put their business in our program, which is kind of why we had this, when you go to like a play or a musical or whatever, they hand you that program. It's kind of what I'm talking about. So inside it's got like our sponsor information. So we really highlight our sponsors in there. And in fact, I don't know, Lola, do you remember? Did you see the pro list that we put in there also?
Yeah, I definitely remember that. I think I still have it. I save everything from my shows.
Do you?
I
love that. I do too. I save everything. I have every button.
I have every number too.
You do? I've got all my buttons for sure.
And every lanyard, the lanyards with the competitor thing, I always save those too.
Yeah, we just started bringing, I really like those. You can use them for keychains, why not?
Yeah.
But we do the pro list too, because I was thinking, as a spectator, maybe you've never been to an Olympia qualifier before, right? You're like, who's, number 33? And you're like, oh, you have identify their name. So we did a pro list this year. So we did 1,000 of them to the attendees, and had their name with it and where they were from also too, because we have people from all around the world. It's a really incredible experience. So my whole mission is to continue I want to elevate the sport to the next level.
I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that means a lot too, especially with how much everybody, like I would say this sport is one of the sports that you have to put the most effort full time into. And so it's really cool to hear about how like the event, the final pinnacle of this long road, how much effort is put into it. Yeah. And so it's really cool to see like how much effort from the other side is coming. Like I think that should be more important for a new competitor to consider when they are picking a show, because it's like you said, like it's not everyone's going to win, especially if it's their first time and things like that. Yeah. But you want this to be a positive experience, because if someone puts in 20 weeks and sacrificed all this time, you want them to like have it be a celebration of all their accomplishments, not something that was stressful.
Yeah, you want them to come back, right? Like you want it to be, you want them to go pick another show. I would say
even love the sport as much as you have to continue going on for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, I know. I feel like sometimes I'm crazy. I'm like, am I still doing this? My husband kept on like, this is it. This is my last year. He's like, yeah, right. You're not done. But I would say, that, and even as far as traveling is concerned, we are like smack dab in the center of the U.S. So we're the crossroads of America. So I don't know if a lot of people realize like how easy it is to get to Indy in a car. Like you can drive from Florida, you can drive from Georgia, you can drive from, if you wanted to, California might take a little bit longer. That direction, but it is very accessible, and we're surrounded with Kentucky, Ohio, a lot of really big states, and we literally are smack dab at the center of the U.S. So I think even when you're a new competitor considering, you're like, I don't want to take a flight there, check and see how long it takes to drive. Like I drive to Pittsburgh to compete, and it's 7 hours, and my butt hurts every bit of the way, but I can bring my cooler, I can bring all my food, my water, make a trip out of it, come to Indiana and experience a really, really kick-ass bodybuilding show.
That's awesome. And I can vouch for it. It was amazing.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to figuring out who our judging panel is going to be this year. I know, I'm pretty sure we'll have it coming out here soon. There's a lot of things that we can't announce in advance, but I kind of have an idea, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, I anticipate this year to be really good, but really, it takes a lot of all of this planning behind the scenes. It's like, okay, well, my husband and I really were just like, what can we do to continue to elevate this? I mean, there's a lot of pros who are like, oh, I really love that video. I'm like, just wait till they get there. It's going to be just as good, and if not more convenient too, because having a hotel on site, isn't it? If it's raining and you're like, your hotel's on site, it makes a big difference, right?
Huge. And just even not having to like rent a car or pay for an Uber or anything like that. Like it's so convenient.
Yeah, we're excited to continue to announce all of the fun stuff that we have coming up with the new awards and things like that. And like I said, with the rebrand, that was really important to us. It's like we really want to stand. I know that we stand out already, but it's like how will people identify as the Indy Pro, as the Indy 500? Like that can't be replicated, right? Like we are Indy,
right.
Yeah. And the Indiana State Championships too, and then this new event here. It's going to be a really good season. So, and strategically, the way we planned it, there really wasn't any fall events here in Indiana. So we have one in June, we have one in August, we have one in November, and then I'm going to be completely exhausted by then.
And then start over.
We're going to be like a well-oiled machine by then. It's like, oh my God, we're doing this again. But it'll be worth it all. But again, like, you know, it'll be a whole different experience when you come into each show because it'll all be themed. And that's been so much fun to do. Like, I just feel like I just like to continue to pour more excitement into myself as a promoter too, because I don't want to get burnt out, you know, because it is exhausting. It really is. It's a lot of work, but you can have fun with this for sure.
Right. It sounds like you can continue to be creative and innovative.
Yeah.
And it takes a team. You know, we really do have the best. Like, our expediters are incredible. They're at the Olympia. Our tanning team, top notch. They take care of everybody. You know, like I said, my awards team, everything. Like, it all matters, you know, like, and it's important when you're choosing people too. Like, who do I want to have running tickets? It's like, you gotta have people that are sharp, fast, you know, and making sure that they're efficient, and all of that stuff is really important when it boils down to the experience of everything too. Like, backstage gets so stressful, right? Yeah. And they're yelling your number and everything, but you know, we really do. We have a very, I'm very, very fortunate. Gary comes with an incredible production team for sure.
As people are waiting for your exciting announcements of the shows coming up and the show flyers and things like that come out, can you let us know what Instagram handle they should follow to make sure they don't miss any of these announcements?
So it's IFBB _NPC Indiana Bodybuilding.
Awesome. And then your Instagram too, because I'm sure some people are going to want to follow you as well. Mm-hmm. It's just your name, right?
Yep. It's _Jamie _Sterling _ I don't know why I put so many in there, but Jamie Sterling, you'll find me.
And we'll tag you on the Bikini Besties podcast IG too. So if anyone's listening on Spotify or YouTube, check out our Instagram because we'll post up on there so that you can tag both of the promoter site and Jamie's site as well. And follow a lot of the exciting announcements because I can't wait to see the upcoming flyer.
Yes, well, we'll be making all the announcements. I have to like reel myself back in sometimes.
She's talking through it all. She's like her to-do list in her brain.
Yeah.
He's like, don't give up all the secrets yet, Nick.
Accidental shares.
But it's going to be a great year, and you guys can always expect to have an exceptional experience. And the questions were great tonight. I really appreciate it because it is like people wonder like, what the heck do you do as a promoter? So thank you for having me on. It was a lot of fun.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing everything too, without giving away too much, right?
I promise it's gonna be all good.
I think it helps give a more complete picture of like what goes into a show, and even just knowing that how much care and effort. And I love hearing how involved other people are into this industry and how much heart goes into it, because it just means so much to each and every one of us for all of our own journeys and experiences, and even at the beginning sharing your journey too, like that's always so fun to hear.
Yes, I am a passionate person for the sport also, so you'll continue to see me pouring into it, you know, and putting 110% effort because like I said, you guys deserve it. Like we all work really, really hard, and like this is not an easy sport. There's we sacrifice a ton, and I think it's deserves to be rewarded.
Love that.
And that effort definitely shows. Effort definitely
shows. Thank you.
Yeah. Just the passion radiates through it.
You know, but I love this stuff.
Well, we can clearly tell, and I know our listeners can too. And so besties that are watching, make sure to go follow Jamie and her promoter page. We'll tag it on our Instagram, like I said earlier, and definitely keep checking it out. And thank you so much again, Jamie.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Good night.
Bye.